Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you what exercises you can do with a birth ball to prepare for birth. So these are exercises I recommend throughout your third trimester of pregnancy and also during the labor, whether that is early labor at home or active labor when you might be preparing for transition or pushing phase. So I'm going to show you a series of exercises that you can do sitting on the birth ball, and then also ones where you're on your hands and knees and maybe kneeling, just to help open up the pelvis, create more space for the baby, just to allow it to descend. So we're going to start off with just sitting on the birth ball. Now, for birth ball sizing, this ball is a little bit too small for me. Ideally, you want something that allows your hips to be higher compared to your knees. But this is the one I have right now, so I'm just going to use this one. So to start off, we're just going to start with some pelvic tilts. So you're going to sit on the birth ball, and then we're just going to have you tuck your pelvis, and then you're going to arch. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you aren't moving your whole body. Now, when I see this, a lot of people tend to go like this, really moving their ribs and their hips, but you really want to isolate this movement from your pelvis. So you're really just tucking, connecting your ribs and your pelvis together, and then you're lengthening your abdomen. You're curling and you're lengthening. So you're going to do this a few times. This is called a posterior pelvic tilt and an anterior pelvic tilt. Curl, lengthen. Great, so that's the first one. The next one we're going to do is we're going to do some side to side. So we're going to go side to side. Now what you want to think about is you don't want to like move your body side to side. You want to think about isolating your pelvis. Again, the goal is to mobilize, lubricate, and hydrate your pelvic joints and pelvic floor. You don't want to compensate up and below the chain. What I find really helpful is actually putting your hands on your rib cage so that you're just isolating the movement from your pelvis. So these are called side to side or lateral pelvic tilts. And now we're going to add some circles. So we can do circles clockwise and counterclockwise. So we're adding an arch in the back, tuck, and forward. So we're kind of combining the two now. We're doing lateral side bends, and then also tucking and arching. And then we're going to go the other direction. Again, you really want to isolate this movement from your pelvis so that you're doing whatever you can to create more space in your pelvis so that the baby has more space to navigate into the birth canal. These are also really great exercises to do if you're having trouble engaging the baby or the baby is sitting too high. And lastly, we're going to end with some bouncing. So I love bouncing because it's very easy to do. You're just relaxing all your muscles and bouncing up and down. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to get onto our hands and knees. So for these exercises, we're just going to start on our hands and knees, and you're going to hover over the ball. Now, these are all really great exercises just to relax during the early labor, but again, very easy to do. It's really important during early labor and labor in general just to keep moving. You never just want to just lay in bed and not move. So we're going to do side to side. You can change up your hip position so that your knees are wider, your knees are together, but just do what's comfortable for you. So these are quadruped side to side. You can also do quadruped circles. You can do that clockwise and counterclockwise. And then you can even go hinge back and forth. You can even add some cat-cows. Great. All right, so there's a series of different quadruped movements you can do. Now we're going to kind of go into a child's pose. So we're just going to kind of do some rollouts. You can go to the left side, and you can go a little bit to the right side. And then you can go back to the center. You can even kind of hang out here and just go side to side. Feels really great for your lower back, especially if you're having lower back pain. So we're just going to do a few more rounds and really just allow your body to let go and to lengthen. Great. Now, other things you can do with the yoga block. So I love using the yoga block to help lengthen the glutes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the yoga block underneath your knee. You're going to prop yourself onto your toes, and we're just going to do some side hip shifts. So these are really great exercises to open up that glute, the same glute that's on the side as the yoga block. If you want to relax, you can lay your abdomen onto, or your upper body onto the yoga ball, whatever is just most comfortable for you. So these are really great exercises, particularly to open up the middle of the pelvis. Again, all of these exercises, highly recommend during labor. Do whatever you feel like your body needs. Your body will probably be wanting something different in every moment. So never just be closed-minded, always have different options. Great. So that is another variation with the yoga block. Now we can also do some half kneeling lunges. So I love these. We're going to be in a half kneel. And we're just going to do some lunges back and forth. Again, really great for opening up that middle of the pelvis. And then we're going to switch sides. So I highly recommend doing these throughout your third trimester because you really want to get these down, get it comfortable into your body so that when you do them during labor, you're almost, you remember it, it's very natural for you. Great. So those are my birth ball exercises. I hope that video was helpful. Again, I highly recommend doing these every day. If you are looking for ways to incorporate movement or exercise into your day in your third trimester, highly recommend doing a little bit of these different exercises to help prepare for birth. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment leave a comment below, and I'd love to answer any of your questions.